from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Good evening. Welcome to the National News broadcast. On behalf of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, we wish all Sri Lankans out there a very happy and a prosperous New Year. Coming to you live from the National News Studio, I am Lakshadri Singha, and joining me is Dulanjali Ananda. Island-wide celebrations for the dawn of Sinhala and Tamil New Year. The current economic and global crises have become the biggest challenge faced by the country in recent history, President says in his New Year message. All must work together as one nation in harmony, Prime Minister says. Another $2 billion financial assistance from India. India pledges to assist Sri Lanka at any time. $4 billion are expected to be obtained from International Monetary Fund, Finance Minister states. Rukirula Rupavahini Aurudu Kumariya to crowned tonight. Annual inflation in the UK surges by 7% in March. Well, on to those and other stories in detail. The dawn of this year's Sinhala and Tamil New Year was at 8:41 a.m. today.
Sri Lankans in many areas of the island were prepared and eagerly engaged in activities to celebrate this New Year. Punyakala commenced at 2:17 a.m. and concluded at 3:05 p.m. People were seen preparing for the New Year by setting aside all work while prioritizing religious observances. Marking the dawn of the Sinhala and Tamil New Year, the tradition of boiling milk was held this morning at the auspicious time of 8:41 a.m. at the Sri Dalada Maligava. The ceremony was held with the participation of Diyavadani Nilame Pradeep Nilangadala. The tradition, which had been passed down since the ancient times, was conducted under the guidance of Venerable Tibbatuwave Medankara. The auspicious time for the preparation of meals was at 9:05 a.m. The Nakat Situa indicated that it was appropriate to prepare milk rice and undu mixed sweetmeat by setting up the hearth, clad in gold, while facing east. This tradition was celebrated at the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation premises according to the relevant auspicious time. The auspicious time to engage in work, transactions and partaking of meals was at 10:17 a.m. while being clad in gold and facing east. Accordingly, the tradition was fulfilled at the Rupavahini Corporation main lobby area at the auspicious time. Chairman of the corporation, Sonala Gunawardana, Director General Dr. B. Vijayaratna and the representatives of the sponsors of Rupavahini New Year program as well as corporation staff were present at the occasion. Chairman of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, Sonala Gunawardana, wished a prosperous New Year to all. He added that the New Year would bring a prosperous future for the people who have been battered with a social and economic pressure at present. He also wished for a prosperous future for Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation in this New Year. Director General of Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, Dr. B. Vijayaratna, wished for a peaceful and prosperous new year filled with joy from Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. He said that the national television is expecting to gain a high audience attraction during this new year.
මේ අවස්ථාවේදී ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරලා තිබෙනවා. ජාතික නාලිකාව විදියට සමස්ත ජනතාවගේ ඉහළ ප්‍රේක්ෂාවක් සඳහා මේ අවුරුද්දේ කටයුතු කිරීමේ ඉහළ බලාපොරොත්තුවක් සහ උසස් ප්‍රාර්ථනාවක් තියෙනවා. ඒ වෙනුවෙන් සියලු වැඩසටහන් සංවිධානය කිරීම තමයි අපේ අපේක්ෂාව.
Meanwhile, the launching of a commemorative stamp marking the new year was held at the Rupavahini Corporation premises. The aim of this initiative is to entrust historic traditions and customs for the future generation. The commemorative stamp was officially issued by Director of Philatelic Bureau Shantakumara Migamu and its Chief Sales Promotion Officer Channa Munasingha. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says that the current economic and global crisis have become the biggest challenge faced by us Sri Lankans in recent history.
Now issuing his message for the Sinhala and Tamil New Year, the President said that this challenge should be overcome with unity and better understanding. The difficulties experienced in the face of the challenge are many. The government is taking measures to secure the normal life of the people from the current complex situation by properly understanding these challenges. Welcoming the dawn of the Sinhala and Tamil New Year with fresh aspirations has been the much valued practice since ancient times. This time too the nation celebrates the dawn of the new year with the same expectations and fresh hopes, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has said. The genuine right of the new year belongs to children. He has further indicated that he is aware that the people are sensitive about preserving this traditional spirit for the children. In his statement, he has said that he can recall the sacrifices made by these people, especially the persons who are engaged in special duties, who have lost the opportunity to join their children to experience the new year, as well as Sri Lankans living abroad. He then wished all a happy, peaceful and a prosperous new year in which the present challenges will be overcome. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, in a message issued for the new year, said that the aspiration of the nation is to fulfill virtuous hopes in this new year while prioritizing traditions and customs. The Prime Minister emphasized that all must work together as one nation in harmony to overcome the existing difficult times. He said that the government has already taken the efforts in enforcing future plans needed to avoid each of the hardships faced by the nation in these challenging times. The New Year festival, filled with historical socio-cultural values based on agriculture passed down from generation to generation, is a reminder of the past relations shared between the Sinhala and Tamil communities. Sharing his message for the new year, opposition leader Sajith Premadasa has wished a happy new year, which sees the end of this difficult season with the reign of prosperity. The opposition leader has indicated that instead of telling the people who have made immense sacrifices to make such sacrifices repeatedly, it is imperative that the rulers take action to make themselves an example at this moment and hope for a prosperous, peaceful, reconciled and truly affluent tomorrow.
Now, the ritual of anointing of oil following the dawn of the new year falls on April 17th. The ritual to leave for work and employment is on the 18th. The auspicious time for the ritual of anointing of oil is at 7:04 a.m. on 17th April. Accordingly, the ritual should be carried out using nanu and oil mixed with imbul leaves extract, with imbul leaves above the head and nuga leaves under the feet, while clad in red and yellow mixed copper facing south. The auspicious time for the ritual to leave for work is at 6:51 a.m. on Monday, the 18th of April, clad in white, after consuming a meal prepared with milk rice and sweetmeats while facing south. And now we have the Ru Kirula taking place in Studio 3, and we are cutting across live to have the footage of the event taking place.
The final round of the national television's Ru Kirula 2022 beauty contest is currently underway in Studio 3. The winner of the Ru Kirula pageant will be rewarded with a golden crown and cash prizes. And in other stories, India has agreed to extend another financial assistance worth $2 billion to Sri Lanka.
Citing various sources of the Indian government, foreign media agencies have pointed out that negotiations are underway in this regard with the Sri Lankan government.
The Indian government is ready to extend assistance for Sri Lanka to overcome the challenges faced at present. India has further indicated that maximum effort will be taken to direct further assistance for Sri Lanka. So far, India has provided loans worth $1.9 billion to Sri Lanka. Another $500 million have been extended for the purchasing of fuel.
Sri Lanka's High Commissioner to India, Melinda Moragada, met the Finance and Corporate Affairs Minister of India, Nirmala Sitharaman, and to review the present status of the Indo-Lanka Economic Cooperation.
The meeting was held in New Delhi yesterday. At the outset, High Commissioner Moragada thanked the Indian Finance Minister for the assistance that India is extending to Sri Lanka. India has extended assistance in the form of credits for essential commodities and fuel, and for balance of payment support extended at these challenging times. The Minister and the High Commissioner observed that this assistance could form part of the bridging finance required by Sri Lanka until the economic adjustment program with the IMF would be negotiated. It was also observed that India was the first country to support Sri Lanka in this manner to secure bridging finance until that program would be in place. In this context, High Commissioner Moragada and Minister Sitharaman discussed how India could assist Sri Lanka in garnering international support to secure bridging finance and for the economic adjustment program itself through both bilateral and multilateral partners. The High Commissioner briefed the minister on the debt standstill announced by the government of Sri Lanka. He informed that the Sri Lankan authorities are seeking a consensual agreement on debt restructuring. They explored the possibility of enhancing and restructuring some of the assistance already provided by India in the form of credits for essential commodities and fuel, as well as balance of payment support. The discussion was also focused on how India could play an expanded role in promoting accelerated growth and development in Sri Lanka in the medium term. During the meeting, the Finance Minister of India expressed her concern over the humanitarian cost of the economic crisis and said that India would stand by Sri Lanka to overcome its challenges. In response, High Commissioner Moragada thanked Minister Sitharaman for the personal interest that she has taken in supporting Sri Lanka at this difficult time. Now, in the meantime, Finance Minister Ali Sabri says a provision of $4 billion is expected to be obtained from the International Monetary Board.
He added that he is traveling to Washington, D.C. to commence negotiations with the International Monetary Board on the 18th of this month. He made these remarks during an online interview with the Bloomberg news agency.
How much money exactly are you asking for from the IMF, if I could ask that question?
Yeah, it's not exactly. We are in the final stages of working out with it. But if you ask me, we probably may need 3 to 4 billion new cash injections from external sources for the rest of the year. Now that the burden of debt repayment is out of our equation, probably to support the balance of payment crisis and also to have those continuous supply of fuel in order to prevent further electricity cuts so that our industries are not affected.
3 to 4 billion, could you just clarify, is that total from all external sources, potential external sources? And as a follow-up to that, you are going through some discussions with the Chinese as well for 2.5 billion, if I'm not mistaken. If you could give us an update too on those discussions with Beijing.
We have just started. We have been discussing with them for a long period of time. We are very confident that Chinese will look at very positively. China had a long-standing relationship with us, so I'm not going to give much of a detail on that. They are still in the negotiation stages, and India had been very, very helpful for us, our neighbor, a friend, for a long-standing friend, and they have categorically stated that they will bail out us until that we can stand on our own. So hopefully with Indian, Chinese, and probably IMF, World Bank, ADB, we have had very good initial discussions. With all of them, I am confident that we can pull through. Of course, there can be very difficult times going forward for the next 6 to 9 months or a year. And then we all know without pain there is no gain. So we understand that these times are going to be very, very difficult going forward.
When will talks with IMF begin? Where, and are you planning a trip to D.C. soon?
Yes, we are in the process of going there. Hopefully on the 18th onwards, we have set up several rounds of discussions with the IMF, with the technical committee, technical consultations, then with the World Bank, with the ADB, with our bilateral partners, including the United States Treasury officials, similarly with our bilateral partners in most of the countries. Mostly our loans are from India, China, and Japan. So hopefully we will try to meet all of them. So generally those discussions will be there for about 5 to 6 days. So I'm hoping to be there in Washington on the 18th with my delegation, which includes Governor of the Central Bank and the Secretary to the Treasury, with the Secretary to the Ministry of Finance. So this delegation will be there sitting and discussing with them for about a week or so. So then we will have some sort of an idea as to how the future looks for us in terms of their support and bridging finance.
And we go for a short break. We'll be back with more news from home after this break.
Now, over the past few days, several regions across the country has been experiencing inclement weather conditions of heavy showers and thunder showers for prolonged time periods.
Yes, on the detail by the Met Department, it says showers or thunder showers will occur in several areas in northern, north central, eastern, central and over provinces during the evening. Fairly heavy showers above 70 millimeters can be expected in these areas. The Met Department, issuing a statement, has indicated that several spells of showers may occur in western and Sabaragama provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts. Temporary localized strong winds may occur in these areas during thunder showers. Now, today marks the Maundy Thursday.
This day during the Holy Week commemorates the washing of the feet and Last Supper of Jesus Christ with the Apostles.
Also known as Holy Thursday or Good Thursday, Maundy Thursday has been celebrated since the earliest days of the Christian Church. This day stresses the importance of the humility of service and brotherly love epitomized through the Jesus Christ. Maundy Thursday initiates the Paschal Triduum, in the period which commemorates the Passion, Death and Resurrection of Jesus. This period includes Good Friday and Holy Saturday and ends on the evening of Easter Sunday. The night of Maundy Thursday is the night on which Jesus was betrayed by Judas in the Garden of Gethsemane. The global Catholic community is recalled of the significance of the day at the Holy Mass conducted on the eve of the Maundy Thursday. A special Holy Mass for Maundy Thursday is conducted by His Holiness Pope Francis at the St. Petersburg Cathedral in Rome.
In the meantime, programs in line with the Sundara Nuwareliya Salalihini Vasante are currently underway in several sites in the festival region. The national television is the media sponsor for the festival.
Sundara Nuwareliya Salalihini Vasantaya 2022.
Many local as well as foreign visitors are arriving to Nuwareliya even on the New Year Day. Various activities have been organized across Nuwara city area for the visitors. In future, many events including horse racing and floral exhibition will be organized in the city for the spectators. Therefore, we invite you to visit and enjoy the experiences provided to you by this year's Sundara Nuwara Salalihini Wasantaya.
සුන්දර නුවරඑළිය සැලලිහිණි වසන්තය 2022.
An all-night Pirit chanting ceremony organized by Maharagama Apeksha Hospital Viharaya was held at the Viharaya premises yesterday.
The aim of this Pirit chanting ceremony was to invoke blessings on the patients and the staff of the Apeksha Hospital and the Hospital Viharaya, as well as to safeguard Sri Lankans and global community from harm. The Pirit chanting ceremony was organized by Mahasangha led by Venerable Boralle Dhammarakita Thera under the guidance of Chief Incumbent of the Viharaya, Venerable Henegama Dhammadara Thera. Sri Lanka police and donors had supported this initiative. That's all we have on local news. Stay tuned for international stories coming up next.
Creama Kottumi, hot and spicy Nava Wasarak Veva.
Welcome back. On foreign news, yes, we have about the Russian invasion into Ukraine, and we have been having the updates from the international media, which seems to be quite contradicting, because now about today's event about the warship in Black Sea, Russia says it was just an explosion of ammunition, while Ukraine says they have fired missiles.
Well, in fact, from the Ukrainian side, it seems that several countermeasures have been taken in response to Russia's aggression, and this recent report where the Ukrainian authorities stated that their armed forces launched 2 Neptune anti-ship cruise missiles at Russia's missile cruiser ship in the Black Sea has caused serious damage. Russia's defense ministry has said that the ship was seriously damaged and the crew completely evacuated as a result of detonation of ammunition caused by the fire. Moskva is the Russian flagship of the Black Sea Fleet, reportedly leading the naval assault on Ukraine. Reports on Telegram suggest the Russian warship Moskva has capsized, although Russian authorities denied the reports. Ukraine says it's investigating war crimes. The prosecutor's office has said it is investigating almost 6,500 alleged war crimes committed by Russian troops in Ukraine. A total of 6,492 cases have been reported and 197 children have been confirmed killed, the office said on a Twitter message. Ukraine has said it is reopening humanitarian corridors, allowing for the evacuation of civilians from war-scarred regions of the country after a day-long pause that Kyiv attributed to Russian violations. Deputy Prime Minister Irina Vereshchuk said in a statement on social media that 9 roads in the east and south of the country would be operating a day after they were shut because at the time they were too dangerous.
The annual rate of inflation in the United Kingdom shot up 7% in March, the highest level recorded since 1992, according to the Office for National Statistics in the United Kingdom. The data released by Office for National Statistics in the United Kingdom showed that the largest contributors to the trend were increased fuel prices and energy bills. The Consumer Price Index rose from 6.2% to February and was higher than expected, with economists having predicted a rate of 6.7% increase. The 7% increase in the highest since March 1992. The UK energy regulator increased the household energy price cap by 54% from the 1st of April following a surge in energy prices, including a record rise in global gas prices. Liquid fuel prices have more than doubled over the past year, up 113.9%, driving up costs for families who rely on oil to heat their homes. According to the National Statistics, average petrol prices grew by 12.6 pence a litre between February and March.
In the meantime, Philippines authorities state that the death toll from landslides and floods in the Philippines rose to 123 as rescuers dug up more bodies with bare hands and backhoes in crushed villages. Most of the deaths has reported from tropical storm Meiji. The strongest to hit the archipelago this year were in the central province of Leyte, where a series of landslides devastated communities. 86 of the casualties were in Bay, a mountainous area in the province, where 236 people were also injured, the city government said in a report. Waves of sodden soil had smashed into farming settlements in Bay city. 26 people died and about 150 were missing in the coastal village of Pilar after a torrent of mud and earth on Tuesday pushed houses into the sea and buried most of the settlement, authorities said. About 250 people were in evacuation centers after being rescued by boat after roads were cut by landslides. Meiji, which made landfall on Sunday, sustained winds of up to 65 kilometers per hour and gusts of up to 80 kilometers per hour.
Now, many people are visiting a park in central Japan to see more than 1,000 cherry trees in full bloom. Takajoshi Park in the city of Ina, Nagona Prefecture is known as one of the country's best cherry blossom view spots. It is home to about 1,500 cherry trees of a variety designated as the prefecture's natural monument. The trees began flowering 10 days later than last year due to cold weather. They came into full bloom this week. The Cherry Blossom Festival is underway at the park. Visitors took photos of the deep pink blossoms. Park officials say the blossoms will remain in full bloom for about a week if the weather permits. Nighttime illumination will continue through the last Sunday. City authorities are calling on visitors to take anti-coronavirus measures such as refraining from eating and drinking outside designated places and not drinking alcohol.
Prima Kottumi, hot and spicy Nava Vasarak Veva.
And in sports news, the Punjab Kings managed to secure victory against Mumbai Indians in an Indian Premier League match played yesterday.
The match was played in Pune. Batting first, Punjab was able to score 198 runs for the loss of 5 wickets in their innings. Shikhar Dhawan scored 70 while captain Mayank Agrawal scored 52. Basil Thampi picked up 2 wickets from Mumbai. Chasing a mammoth target, Mumbai Indians were restricted to a score of 186 runs for the loss of 9 wickets. Devad Brevis scored 49 while Suryakumar Yadav scored 43.
Now in the meantime, England bowler Anya Shrubsole announced her retirement from the international game.
The 30-year-old played 173 games for her country across all formats, claiming 227 wickets. She took 6 wickets in England's dramatic World Cup final win over India at Lord's in 2017. Shrubsole was England's leading wicket-taker in the World Cup final earlier this month as her side attempted to defend their title. However, her figures of 3 for 46 with the ball could not prevent England falling to a 71-run defeat by Australia in Christchurch. 5 years previously, Shrubsole was named player of the match in the year 2017 final, taking the final wicket as England beat India by 9 runs. The medium pacer also took a hat-trick in the 2018 World 2020, another campaign that ended a final defeat by Australia. Shrubsole will captain Southern Brave in the 100 this year as she continues her career in domestic cricket.
Prima Kottumi, hot and spicy Nava Vasarak Veva.
And that's all the stories for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow at the very same time. Until then, stay safe and good night.